Next on our list is Telkom. Telkom, controlled of course by the South African government through a combination of its direct holding as well as, you could argue, through the PIC and Government Employees Pension Fund, northwards of 50% of the shares. And in fact, the full name of the company has the letters SOC at the end, which stands for State-Owned Company. So that does give people some pause for thought, although it is of course listed on the exchange. It's been a major player over the years, been through some tough times, written off some big value, has its fixed line network, which of course has been building since the 1800s or something. So that gives them a certain advantage. Their next generation network, lots of fiber, lots of installed lines, lots of ADSL connections, lots of fixed lines, in something of a transition. Does have a mobile business, of course previously called ATA, now called Telkom Mobile. It's under fresh management. Sipho Maseko doing a lot better than some of his predecessors. Market capitalization 30.3 billion rand. You'll see the share chart in a bit and see how that has changed. Price to earnings ratio fairly low, 9.47. Dividend yield of 3.74. And Grant, I mean, people called it wrong because everyone said this business was dead, you know, like 3 or 4 years ago, and it's had a bit of a phoenix-like recovery. Not doing too badly anymore. Yeah.
Correct. I think the restructuring has really added value. They're getting a lot of traction there, diversified their revenue streams, and lately started to reduce the cost. So I think there's definitely a reason for the re-rating in the share price that we have seen, and so management doing a good job.
So exactly, one of those cases where everyone sort of gives a negative value to things because they don't trust the management team to do anything right, and then suddenly, because that's what I'm referring to, it goes from 40 down to around 6 or 7 rands a share, and then flies all the way back up to 80, which is astonishing. Actually, I don't know if they got as low as 6 or 7, maybe 13. However, look at that. It's looking a little bit wobbly to end there. So what's that about? Is that just a sort of people realizing that maybe it had run a little too hard, too fast, and that it is needing to kind of get back to some normal valuation metrics?
Correct. I don't think too many fundamentals changed in the pullback when it was north of 80. I think it was a valuation issue. And of course, the market conditions have also deteriorated slightly. So I'm not completely surprised by the pullback. But I think at 80 rand it was a bit expensive.
Okay, so the parts of the business that appear to be in good shape are the ADSL to some extent, where they still see lots of sales because people want those uncapped copper lines.
Correct.
They've still got all their network business, so they do quite a lot of interconnect business between large corporates and that sort of thing. The mobile business, I think, is sort of okay. But there is a sense that the revenue of this company isn't exactly flying higher. It's more about cost control and cost containment and further reductions in headcount and that sort of thing. So where does the future lie for the business though? Do you think they're going to remain a major player? I mean, they're starting to do LTE. They're starting to do fiber to the home. That's worth noticing. I've got a Telkom fiber to the home connection at home. So that's the growth area of the business. But is there enough growth in the operation to grow revenue, I guess, is what I'm asking.
And I think that's the question the market is grappling with. Mobile's doing very, very well, albeit from a very, very low base.
Yeah.
They don't have a big strategic position in the overall sector, so they don't have that much influence. But I think what's encouraged the market is the acquisition of Business Connection, which would further diversify
the revenue. Took a long time to
stream.
get approved, but
correct.
That gets them into the sort of converged services arena where they can present themselves slightly differently.
IT services, cloud computing, data analytics, business consulting, distributing for Canon. So I think, once again, it adds to the different revenue stream. But it is difficult to see where the top line growth will come from.
So how are you going to call it? I mean, we've been having this problem now for 5 years because people are typically not hot on Telkom, but then it did so well, it was always a bit embarrassing. But how are you calling it right now?
I'm happy to sit out, Paul.
Sit
until
out.
we see a vector for top line growth, I'm happy to sit out.
Okay, I'm going to do the same too, which is a bit weak. But anyway, there you go. Not hot again. Sorry, Telkom. Maybe one.